Good morning, boys and girls. Today, we're going to continue our unit on family traditions. The past couple of weeks, we have done fun activities and had great discussion revolved around the book that we read. Does anybody remember the name of the book we read? Remember to raise your hand. Very good. The Keeping Quilt. Excellent job. And does anybody remember who the author was? Excellent. Patricia Polacco. And remember, we had some discussion about important key words that we learned throughout the week and also learned in this story. One of the words was culture. Who remembers what culture means? Very good. It's a group's way of life. And as you can see on our word wall, we have the word culture. And we also have another word. Can anybody tell me what word that is? Good job. Traditions. And what is traditions? Does anybody remember? Excellent job. Traditions are practices and beliefs that are handed down from generation to generation. Everyone has family traditions. Excellent listening skills, boys and girls. Today, we're going to continue this discussion by doing an art project. And today, we are going to create a class quilt, just like the quilt that they had in the story we read. Remember, we did a lot of fun activities. We all made a great family tree during our social studies lesson. We also had some practice with patterning in our math lesson. Today we are going to make a quilt, and I'm going to help you step by step on how to make your own fabric piece of the quilt, and then we're going to put it together and make a big class quilt. Isn't that exciting? Now, why don't we all go sit in our group rug and talk about ways that we are going to make our class quilts. Everyone quietly get up and let's go take a nice seat on our class rug. Okay, so now that I'm holding the keeping quilt, let's put on our thinking caps. Remember, we used our goggles. We made goggles to observe things throughout the story. Now we're going to put on our thinking caps. And let's take a few minutes and think about what we want to draw and create that we feel represents our family traditions. Remember, we all have different family traditions, so all of our pieces of the quilts are going to be different. Let's think about our own family traditions. Think in your head, is there something that maybe your family enjoys doing together? Or something that they do on special occasions? Or you might want to think about how many people are in your family. To start our project, I am going to give everyone fabric markers to draw on fabric squares. You're also going to have multicolored construction paper to cut out shapes of objects and fabric glue to attach it to your fabric square. So once you think about things that you can put on your fabric square about your family traditions, you can create it. Now here I have some examples of fabric squares that were made to put together into a class quilt. The first fabric square is from a child who has family traditions that are revolved around Korea. You can see that they wear different outfits for some special occasions. They also have a family dinner, maybe in a different way than we do. If you look at this fabric square from a child whose family is from Mexico, you can also see that they enjoy different things, and they enjoy playing soccer together. Maybe there's something you enjoy doing. For example, my family loves to travel together. We also like to get together for dinner once a week, and on special holidays, we have all of our family come over. There may also be different foods you like to eat with your family, maybe different kinds of music you like to listen to. Just think of all the things you and your family like to do together, especially on special occasions. And we're going to create our fabric square that represents you and your family traditions. Once we are done creating our fabric square, and we make it very creative and neat and put all of our effort into it, I am going to give you a piece of paper to write 2 to 4 sentences explaining your quilt piece. So here, this explanation says, my family is from Korea. We wear special outfits for special occasions. My family likes to eat dinner together. This is an example of something you can write. But remember, it has to be about all the things you created and drew on your fabric square, and it has to be about your family only. So once you're done with your square, you are going to raise your hands and show me that you are ready for your piece of paper to write your 2 to 4 sentences explaining your fabric square. But remember, you can also raise your hands if you need any help. Now I'd like everybody to go back to their seats, and I'm going to have our monitors hand out the fabric squares and fabric markers. Once you have all your materials, you can start creating your fabric square. I will be walking around. Remember to raise your hands if you have any questions, and I will walk around to help anyone who needs help. You are all doing a great job. I love how excited we all are about creating our class quilts. Remember, once you are done, raise your hands and I will write your name on the back of your square so that I can remember who it belongs to. Remember, we have spent several days talking about heritage and quilts, and we may not have any trouble with our quilt making, but we may have a little difficulty writing it into sentences. So do not be afraid to raise your hand and ask me for help. You can also turn to your partner next to you and ask them for help as well. Now that everybody's done with their square, let's stand up in front of the room and share what we created, and also read our explanation that we wrote on the separate piece of paper. And remember, boys and girls, we're sharing our ideas, so we are to clap and also give words of kindness. Great job, everyone. Everyone did such a nice job. You all followed directions and worked nicely together. And as you can see from all of these fabric squares, what can we say about the people in our class and traditions? Remember to raise your hands. Very good. Yes, we all come from different families. What about our traditions? Are they the same? No, very good. We all have different traditions because we come from different families. You all did such a great job. Now let's all get our squares together and put it together to build our class quilts. What a wonderful job. Look at our class quilt. We all worked together and celebrated our differences. Excellent job, boys and girls. Let's hang this outside so the rest of the school can see it. Great lesson today.